The only person I have had sex with in the past 5 years has been my wife. I thought I had a bladder infection or urinary tract infection and scoffed when my doctor thought it was chlamydia. Well, here we are. I got the test results yesterday, and I have chlamydia. I decided to start snooping, and it didn't take long to find the text messages between her and her lover. My guess is she doesn't even know she had it as well. She thinks I stayed up all night working, but little does she know I've already emailed her lover's wife all the text messages. I warned the lover's wife that he's been sleeping with an infected woman and to get herself tested. I'm still deciding how to process this all, but my wife is going to wake up to my positive test results and the messages of her infidelity. The sun should be coming up in the next hour or two, and it will probably be the end of this marriage. Story 1. The best lesson I learned after getting out of a disastrous marriage is that the love of a good woman will improve your life in many ways, both large and small. Sorry this happened to you. Move on, don't feel bad, don't look back, and get on with the rest of your life. You deserve better, and you know that. Story 2. Honestly, man, just leave. Show her the evidence and move on. Don't negotiate and don't give in to the temptation to stay, because what she did wasn't accidental. She deliberately wanted this to continue without your knowing. Please keep me updated. I hope you can set aside your feelings and do the right thing. Please update me. Story 3. You can do everything right, and it still won't be enough for her, speaking from a male perspective. The lesson learned is that love does not, in fact, conquer all. Sometimes people just want to sabotage a good thing because, well, good is boring. Drama is exciting. Story 4. Technically, I learned it from betrayal, but never give a cheater a second chance. They might be able to be better with another partner and not cheat on them, but within the same relationship, no second chance for cheaters. Story 5. An ugly truth is that the person who cares the least in a relationship holds the power in it. Sorry that happened to you. Story 6. I'm really sorry to hear about what you're going through. It sounds incredibly tough, and it's definitely a harsh way to learn any lesson about love. If there's a lesson to be taken from such a painful situation, it might be about the importance of transparency and trust in relationships. It's crucial for both partners to communicate openly and honestly, not just about the good things, but also about the challenges and issues that inevitably arise in any long-term commitment. Another lesson might be about self-care and self-respect. In times of betrayal, it's essential to look after your own emotional and physical well-being first. It's like being on an airplane and putting on your oxygen mask before helping others. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, reaching out for support from friends or a professional if needed, and setting the boundaries necessary to heal and move forward. Navigating what to do next in your relationship is a personal journey and can be incredibly complex. Whatever decisions you make, ensure they are in your best interest and lead you towards healing and closure, however that looks for you. And remember, it's okay to take time to process everything. After all, the path to recovery doesn't need to be rushed. Story 7. Something doesn't have to be long-term or permanent to bring value to your life. I've lived with 4 women and still regard those years as having a huge positive impact on my life. The first pushed me to go to college and helped me get my first job. The second taught me how to take care of someone. The third was a cheerleader and gave me confidence that helped me achieve success in my career. The fourth taught me patience. Both the first and the third cheated on me and broke my heart. The second became abusive. I live with the fourth now and we have a good life. Most people choose to focus on the cheating or the hurting, but I see all 4 of these people as important in how I developed as a human being. Too many people focus on finding someone to grow old with and forget to live life in the present moment. Story 8. Well, I saw my mom take care of my dad for about 10 years as he battled and died of cancer. Despite the verbal abuse and seeing her beloved husband wither away, she still loved him and stayed by his side. So I want a woman like that. And I also want to be a man who's deserving of a woman like that. Story 9. My sister's friend did this. Her husband was a stand-up guy who stood his ground to burn a lot of bridges to marry her. Fast forward 3 years. She ended up cheating on him, and now they're getting divorced. Thankfully, my sister has a level head and took the husband's side. Poor guy. Story 10. She crossed the line. Now it's time for you to work out, eat healthy, and improve yourself by being better than you were yesterday. It hurts, really stings, but no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. Story 11. Never forgive traitors. If you give her a second chance, she would take it as your approval to do it again. She can cry and beg, but in her mind she doesn't care. She only cares about being caught. Story 12. What I have learned is to capitalize on opportunities as soon as they're available or miss out. I just ended a 3-year relationship where I was cheated on for 7 months. I was supposed to celebrate the anniversary last week. I found out she was unfaithful for 7 months and is now engaged. I was shattered. Eventually, I moved on but was still hurt. I met a great lady who works at the same club I just started at. She said to my face, "Date me now," and I told her we would discuss it, but I didn't act because I was still hurt from my recent breakup. 3 weeks passed, and I asked her out, only to find she started dating someone a week ago. Moral of the story: life is cruel. The world is cruel. If you fall and don't get back up, you'll miss opportunities. Get up, move on, or you'll be left behind. Yes, the world is a cruel place, and no one cares. Story 13. Don't let love, or rather your emotions, deceive you. When someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. Your wife just showed you everything you need to know about her character. Some may think I'm being petty, but I believe you should fully address the situation. Make this experience as unpleasant as possible for her, not just for petty reasons, but because she needs to learn significant life lessons. Story 14. You, my friend, found out the hard way. All these posts and videos criticizing men are just deflection. Most of us are decent, loyal humans. We have our flaws, but they are magnified 100 times, while our counterparts have built-in excuses for bad behavior. The excuse usually has more to do with us than their own behavior. I say this to prepare your brain and heart to hear that you were the cause. Prepare to hear unwavering unaccountability. You will be manipulated into thinking you should apologize, but don't. Whether you stay or go is your decision. Put the people in your life in perspective. Once you know what they are capable of, you know how to proceed. Stand firm and do not disrespect yourself. Good luck, brother. Story 15. Take your pick. There are no guarantees. You do not know the depth of it or how long it will last. Relationships have an expiration date. You are always the last one to know. She can love you and still have sex with others. She is loyal until she is not. Lust is 10 times stronger than love. Just as you can fall into love, you can fall out of it. Love can blind you to the truth. Love is followed by pain and suffering. It's cheaper to keep her. Love and marriage are a gamble where the odds are against you. Love is the meaning of life, since life is meaningless without it. Love manifests itself in action. Story 16. Oh man, I'm sorry, that's awful. You did the right thing by reacting the way you did. Most likely, this is not your fault at all. I've been cheated on before, and it turned out it wasn't because of anything I've done, just the way she is. She cheated on every single person she dated. My lessons were all personal, about myself and what I like. Learning that people care about me was a big one, as well as not getting carried away when someone seems too good to be true. But I also believe that love is worth it, even if it ends badly. If I had fun, I have no regrets. Story 17. Never experienced two-way romantic love. I have known my best friend for 41 years. That is love to me. He is my brother. If he lost his job and needed to crash on my couch, he could indefinitely. If he fell into a coma and his family disowned him, I would rob a bank to keep him alive. He would do the same for me. I would take a bullet for him or his kids without a second thought. No way would I ever believe a woman would stay with me through thick and thin. Life is too good for women in developed countries. They invent issues and make mountains out of molehills, petty annoyances and all that immature nonsense. I think most people are dealing with self-love, egotism, and infatuation or lust. Why would anyone get married and say vows they couldn't possibly uphold? Is that why they write their own meaningless vows nowadays? A human life is so short, and most people can't even make it 1/10 of the way with a monogamous partner, let alone 50 years. Story 18. I learned that things might not improve. I tend to be optimistic and gave an ex-girlfriend way too many chances. But she kept behaving irrationally. At some point, I realized she was not going to change. I didn't want to deal with that for the rest of my life. Story 19. If you file for divorce, do not settle and have the reason be irreconcilable differences. Save those messages documented and take pictures of them. You will get assets and monetary advantages in court when you can prove and list the cause as infidelity. If you change your mind, fine. But for now, protect yourself and your assets and document that now. P.S. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Story 20. Unless you were her first choice, she will never love you. Part of her will always feel fear of missing out or resentment for settling. Story 21. Learn when to let go. You care, but they don't, and that's fine. If it's meant to be and they're just testing you, they might come after you. You gave them space and acted appropriately. If they don't take what happened to heart, grow from it and carry that into the next encounter. Story 22. The best lesson I've learned is to not trust their words, only their actions. It will end the marriage because you have self-respect, a lot more than she can say for herself. Story 23. I'm sorry, that absolutely sucks in every way. I mean, unless you were already kind of sick of her, then it's kind of nice to get instant closure. Fortunately, chlamydia is easily treatable. Story 24. The lesson I learned was that the one you love the most, the one you would do the most for and would go to great lengths just to see them smile, will be the one that hurts you the most. I know it sounds cliché, but it is the truth, and it will leave a mark on your heart like obsidian glass. Sorry this happened to you. Story 25. What's the best lesson you've learned from love? That the end is rarely one person's fault. Maybe you are not the great partner you thought you were, or perhaps you ignored the signs that the two of you were incompatible all along. Give it 5 years, then look back in hindsight. What you think caused it now is often an inaccurate version of the truth. Cheating is usually the end stage. By the time they cheat, they have already disconnected from you and whatever relationship you had. Cheating isn't what ended the marriage. Whatever caused it happened long ago. There is little point in talking. Don't engage in explanations. They will only talk you out of it. Don't let them persuade you when you agree to the divorce and say, I want to make it easy. Many people rightly see the financial breakup as a last chance to get large sums of money to make a difference in their new lives. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. You need the money too. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you don't. Story 26. Hey man, you are in a unique position. Keep your head cool now. You could plan a much tougher revenge if you waited out a little. Let's think of various options here. 1. Go on with the plan you had and just end it with her. It's probably the most reasonable thing to do. Narcissistic people like her will somehow make it your fault, and in the end, you just part ways. Leave her without an explanation, saying you don't want to waste your time. Expose her in front of her family or colleagues in a dramatic way. You and the wife of that person get involved and get caught by them. Fill up with ideas for a different ending that doesn't get you in trouble. Story 27. Expectations are premeditated resentments. Loving someone and loving someone the way they want to be loved are two completely different scenarios. Story 28. I know this is Ask Men, but I feel like it applies here. The best lesson I've learned from love is understanding how I deserve to be treated. I don't regret my abusive relationship entirely because it taught me what I deserve, and that relationship was not it. Get out and move on from this person who has treated you poorly. Story 29. That, while an agnostic, this passage rings true. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Story 30. I warned the lover boy's wife that he has been sleeping with an infected woman and to get herself tested. Most likely, lover boy is the source of the infection. Not certain why you care about him getting a test. Story 31. Please take all this as a blessing and move forward without her. Be thankful you learned the truth rather than live a pretty lie. Best of luck, my friend. Story 32. You stick to your guns. She sounds like a disrespectful person who has no concern for you. Take out the trash, honey. You deserve so much more. Story 33. Get it at the right time from the right person in the right way. It's not always a two-way street. It's a verb, not a noun. Story 34. As a woman, I would send her away on a luxurious spa weekend so she thinks she is being treated and won't suspect a thing. While she is gone, get as many people as you can to take your things and leave. Leave the results along with printouts of her texts on the kitchen counter where she will see them upon return. Hire a lawyer and cut your losses. Story 35. I've learned a lot about love, especially one-sided love. It teaches you that a person should be able to buy expensive gifts, treat someone like a queen in a materialistic way, and be good-looking enough for friends to comment on your appearance. You should be as talented as Albert Einstein, stand at least 6 feet 3 inches, and have great conversational skills. Basically, you have to fit into these unrealistic ideals set by writers who create fictional characters that today's generation believes to be real. They're out there looking for men who don't actually exist. The girl I loved never spoke to me, and now she's married to an older man because he's wealthy and successful, while she's only 25. After that, I started hating the concept of love. I can't believe in it anymore. When someone tells me they love someone, I laugh out loud because, to me, there's no such thing as love. People only stay with you because you're offering something better than others, and the moment that thing is gone, they leave without a second thought, completely disregarding your sacrifices and the time you invested in them. Story 36. That men are only loved conditionally, mostly because they provide something of value, and that the only woman who will ever love them for being themselves is their mother. Story 37. She is cheating and not using protection. She could have contracted human immunodeficiency virus or herpes. Sorry, hope you get through this. Story 38. So sorry this happened. For you to have his wife's contact information, they're obviously a couple that you and your wife know, which adds to the betrayal. Again, so very sorry, but stay strong, and know you deserve better. Story 39. After the infidelity and the divorce, I put the following on my phone as a reminder. 3.5 billion women out there, just in case the person feels irreplaceable. Story 40. To never do things for others that they wouldn't do for you. And a woman will always do what's in her best interest, so you should too. Story 41. Your gut feeling is usually right. Humans are often too obsessed with others being perfect and inflicting an insane amount of pain and punishment. As a result, people resort to lying and shifting blame out of fear of punishment. The biggest lesson I learned is to understand a dying relationship and recognize that your happiness and mental health also matter. If someone wants to be with someone else, just let them and focus on improving yourself. There are other options out there, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't treat your current partner well and to the best of your abilities. This is where people often get confused. Just because there are other options doesn't mean it's okay to be a poor partner, which is an alternative many people take. Learn from mistakes and improve yourself, as often many people are in the wrong in drama and relationships. These situations are a great way to learn more about yourself, what you want in life, and how to treat others and yourself. They can make or break you. Story 42. Just tell her, I have chlamydia. You gave it to me. I saw the texts between you and your boyfriend. I know. He knows I know. I'm seeing a lawyer today. And then do it. See a lawyer and file divorce papers as soon as possible. Story 43. That if you can't receive it from yourself, you won't be able to fully receive it from others. And it takes a long time to understand what that means. Story 44. That everything is temporary and everything breaks eventually. Case in point, this sadly. Then you get someone insisting you're wrong for thinking that and for discussing it in public. Again, case in point, this situation this week. Story 45. What does the title have to do with this disaster of a marriage? End it and move on. There is no love there. Story 46. I had heard the verse about 1,000,000 times. I always kind of figured, yeah, but there's going to be some bad stuff in love, because that's all I'd ever experienced. No, love is exactly as described in those verses. I just hadn't experienced real love before. I have now. It's quite something different. It's wonderful to be a part of. Story 47. For this and for so many reasons, I'm going to love the rest of my life with this in my mind. Don't you ever trust in people who betray you again. Story 48. As cheesy as this will sound, being in love with the right person feels pretty good. That's what I've learned. Story 49. As cheesy as this will sound, being in love with the right person feels pretty good. That's what I've learned. Story 50. I'm young, so it might not be how I feel when I'm older, but don't try to make it work if it's hard. There are so many people out there. It's always better to find someone else. And don't take things personally. Cheaters cheat and people change. Story 51. If you don't have a strong, confident frame for yourself, you won't have it over her. Most women will dismiss you if you follow the nice guy script. Also, don't try to rescue women, because once they're back on their feet, they won't see you as their savior. They'll just see you as someone obstructing what they truly want in life. Lastly, if she wants to make you jealous or feel inferior, then she doesn't love you deeply. Story 52. A relationship isn't that missing piece you've been looking for all this time. You need to be complete and content with yourself before you can be an equal partner in a healthy relationship. Story 53. Love is hard work. It's not like on television where two people get together and everything works out. People need to get over that fantasy. It's a constant compromise, working to keep each other happy and satisfied. If you can't, things fall apart. It sucks, and I'm sorry it happened. Story 54. True love rarely survives. Everyone must at least once go through heartbreak in their life to understand love. Story 55. Everyone says to dump her, but I really think you have the right to ask why and what it meant to you. It takes two to make relationships work and two to make them fail. Burning bridges and everything down may not be the best move. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.